Today I'm going to show you how to make these fabric flowers. They're small. They're using the candy cane designer fabric that's currently on our clearance rack, and you can buy a package of 3 fat quarters for 99 cents, so that's the deal. You just go to my online store to purchase that. We do have some other fabrics that are also on sale, but I'm going to show you how to make these. They use the Tasteful Trim die. And the Tasteful Trim die has 4 different designs on it. We have our scallop edge, we have a large rickrack, we have kind of a double a scallop shape right here, and then we have a small rickrack shape, which is the one that we're going to use today. So I've cut a piece of the small polka dot on the candy cane Christmas fabric. And this is, I've cut this one 9 inches by 1 inch. And the die is right here, this rickrack. So what I'm going to do, I usually cut everything face down. I'm going to line up the edge of the fabric with the edge of my die. All right, because we're actually not using the small zigzag pattern, and you'll see that when we run it through the big shot, what part we're going to use. I might even just hang it over a tad. I'm going to run this through the big shot. Whoops, everything's coming up. Okay, so when we pull this off, this is the edge that's on the top, and we're not going to need that. Okay, this is our small rickrack piece, which I'm not going to use for my flower, but I'm going to save that and use that on a card or something later. This is the piece that was lined up with the edge of the die, and you can even make it bigger if you want, so that you see we have a zigzag edge right here, and that's going to be the outer part of our flower. So I've taken a piece of thread. Okay, I've already threaded a needle with a piece of white thread, and I've double knotted it in the end. And what I'm going to do is just gather the straight edge of my fabric, and these don't have to be super small pleats or gathers, maybe every 1/4 of an inch. Okay, you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. Okay, now that I have my fabric all gathered, I have it on my needle. I have an extra long needle here, but I'm just going to pull this through. Straighten out my thread, and you'll see that it's long and it starts kind of curling back in on itself, which is okay, because what we're going to do is just gather it very tightly. And it's going to kind of overlap itself. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and let it overlap, so it's a 2-layered flower. Pull it nice and tight. And then the edge right here, if it's a little rough and it's kind of fraying a bit, I just fold that under. This is all raw edge fabrics, you know, once it's cut anyway. So then I'm going to sew a few stitches into the center, just to kind of hold it in place. I kind of caught on there. I just want to hold it together so it doesn't come apart. Get one more stitch in there. tie it off in a knot on the back. Just make a loop and wrap my needle around a couple times. Pull that. Okay, cut that off. If you have a few extra strings that are hanging around from the fabric, you can trim those off. Then I'm going to take one of these glitter brads and put it in the center because this is super cute and it makes it pop. Sometimes these glitter brads don't want to come apart. So a little trick, I take my paper piercer and just stick it in the base of the glitter brad and kind of pry that open a bit so that it becomes unstuck. And then you can stick it in, close it back up, put it through the center of your flower and just kind of wiggle it in there. Oops. Find a hole. And then open your brad back up. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have a hole right in the center. Take my piercer in there and put my brad in the center of my flower. And open up the tines. Give it a good press so it's nice and flat, and there you go. Isn't that cute? Now this one, what I did was in between each of the points, I cut in a little bit, and I did that before I gathered it. So it gives it a little bit different look, more of a frayed look. This one was a little bigger. I had a little extra fabric hanging over the side of the die, and then I put an antique brad in the center. So, and then you can just put these onto your card with a little glue dot or some hot glue, and they just add a cute little fun touch. Okay, tune in next time. Thank you.